Join me today as I turn this tree into this. Hey everyone, welcome to the channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. My name is Joe, and this is my Christmas 2024 vlog series as I create my Rediscovering the Past with a Modern Twist on Timeless Traditions. I have to keep looking down to read that because I can't remember my own title, but that's my theme for Christmas this year, Rediscovering the Past with a Modern Twist on Timeless Traditions. So I started this is the third in my series so far. I started in a guest room, and it's a good place to start, especially since it's the beginning of October. No one will actually see it, so they don't come in and they think that you're absolutely crazy. But it's going to get to a point where I really don't care, because I'm going to have to start downstairs no matter what the date is. Otherwise, like I won't get done. So I am upstairs in a guest room. And this is a great tree, not only for a guest room, but this is useful for those of you who may have a small space, a small apartment, or you just can't afford to waste any room in your house for a big tree. This, like I said, this is in the bedroom, but this can be done on any tabletop or any, like in a room where there's a flat surface. You can do this kind of a tree. So hopefully we'll help you in that way. Now, this tree that I'm going to be creating, I started in the last video. I had this scraggly looking, Charlie Brown kind of looking tree, and I added branches to it, and it wound up looking completely different. Now, what I'm going to be doing in this video is I'm actually going to be decorating it. And I'm going to do kind of like a garden vibe, but with a twist. Now, what I did was I used inspiration in the room, the bedding, and there's a piece of artwork in there that inspired me for the colors that I'm going to be using in that room. So, it's a little bit different because I'm using fuchsia, lime green, purple, and gold. Not traditional Christmas colors, but still festive. And like I said, it will give the garden vibe that I'm looking for, but with a definite twist. Could it be said to be whimsical? Yeah, I don't know. I guess some people would look at it as whimsical. I don't, but some people would. So anyway, I hope you will join me in seeing how I created this tree and this vignette on the dresser that's in the bedroom. And like always, please drop a comment. I love hearing from you, what you think, and subscribe. That always helps get my videos out there, and share. I would love more people to see what I do. Okay, everybody, sit back and let's take a look at how I'm going to create this garden vibe with a twist, right? Modern take on timeless traditions. There's always a question on when you should put your ribbon on. Some put it before, some after. It depends on how much you want it to be seen. Obviously, if you put it on last, you're going to see it way more, but you're going to be covering up some of your ornaments. If you put it on first and then your ornaments go in front of it, it kind of like just blends into the entire picture of the tree. It all depends on, how many ornaments you have and the look you want. Now, you can do it organic, like I did on this tree, which means it just goes where it's going to go, or you can have a set pattern. And there's a million tutorials on YouTube about how to put ribbon on, and I'm sure you've watched them. So it depends on how you want it to be seen. And then also you can layer your ribbon in 2 or 3, a kind of coordinating patterns, which always makes it look really nice. Wired ribbon tends to be best because you can manipulate it way more than ribbon that is not wired. The next thing up is the topper. Ooh, fun. And a lot of people always ask about the topper, kind of like it's a mystery to some people. But there are so many tutorials on YouTube already, but I'll give you my take on it anyway. Usually what I usually do, not always because I change it up depending on the tree, but I try to do as I do in gardening, like in a pot, I do a thriller, which is something upright, and then a filler, and then a spiller, something that comes over. That's usually on a bigger tree. Again, not always, sometimes. This tree, I don't think I'm going to do all 3 because look how skinny the top of the tree is, and it's really tiny, and it will look like overwhelmingly too big. But what I am going to use up there are these whimsical picks right here that we got in the Christmas tree shops, no longer around. But we got these a few years back, and they're very shiny and glistening, and really they have a really pretty color, and they match that ribbon that's on the tree perfectly. And then I'm going to use these also, and again, they're not picking up on the video, but they're very lacy, and they're filled with sequins and glitter. Now take a look at that combination is outrageous, and this is what I'm going to be using for my topper. So I'm going to put these in first and then followed by these. So let's see how that looks, and hopefully it's going to look good so that I don't have to take it apart and do it again. Okay, because it's never enough. It's never enough for Christmas, right? I found these. I have these as well. And these, look how pretty that is. Okay, I don't know if you can see how glistening they are. And this will kind of be like the spiller. So I kind of have like a thriller, filler, spiller going on, but let's see, it might be too much, but I'm going to try to stick these in and see what it looks like. So actually it wasn't enough. The tree could handle it. I would have took it apart if it couldn't. And I even added a bird up there with the same coloring, and I think it looks kind of appropriate for this. All right, I just reviewed some of that video footage that I took, and it was not great because I did it too far back. I wanted to give you a wider view, but hopefully you got the idea. So I'm going to talk. I talked through it. I didn't do it yet. That's why I said I'm going to talk through it. But I'll do a voiceover so it'll make sense to you what I did and how I did it. All right, so I got that topper on. So I have the ribbon on now. I have the topper on, and now it's time for the ornaments. And this was very this has been plaguing me for a couple of days. What I've been going to do. Originally, what I thought I would do is I was going to make a trail of ornaments, like kind of like that, and then leave the rest of the tree blank. And then I decided I'm not going to do that because the tree is too small for that. I don't want to do that. Then I thought I was going to have flowers and greenery growing out of the topiary of the reindeer up into the tree. I still might incorporate that idea. I'm not really quite sure about that. Then I thought, well, you know what? I'm just going to put the ornaments all over the tree like I normally do. And then I said to myself, well, what's that? That's too normal. And especially up here, I need to experiment and try something else. So I decided then what I'm going to do is I am actually going to be making groups of ornaments. And the way I'm going to do that is I have a piece of garland, and I'm going to cut it into pieces, and then on that piece of garland I'm going to put the ornaments, and most likely I'm going to be using that fuchsia color. I also painted these are purple, and I put some glitter on. I'm going to add some purple in there as well, and maybe some gold in there, and I'm going to make clumps of ornaments, and I'm going to stick it into spots in the tree. So let's see how that looks. Let's go with that, and if it doesn't look great, then I'll just take it apart. But you know, I wanted to share that with you. That's what these vlogs are all about, right? So you know how I think, what I've been thinking about, and it's been driving me a little bit crazy, but hopefully this is going to work. I think it's going to work. All right, so the way I'm going to approach it is like, you see right here, there's an opening right in here. So what I'll do is I have a piece of this. Actually, this is that cheapy garland from Walmart here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to see how much I need like that. And then I'll cut it. And then I'll use this piece to put the ornaments on. And then I'll have a grouping in there. So that's what my plan is. So let me get started so you can see. Maybe you might like to do that too. Okay, so you see how we did that? I kind of just twisted them onto that piece of garland, right? And then I'm going to go in here like this, right? And I'm going to secure it to a piece of the tree like this, okay? And then I'm going to tuck it in. I don't want it sitting on the top. I want it to be incorporated. So I'm using a piece on the bottom as well to like really tie it in like that, okay? See that? And I just might have to add a couple little leaves on there. Let me look for something. I had these wooden roses, so what I did was I just put purple on the top and then some of the glitter. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sink them here and there in these pieces. And there's a close-up of that. So you see how I did that? I did the fuchsia, the purple, some golds, the little roses, and I even put in some mini pine cones in there. So now I'm just going to keep creating that over and over. And here you go. So I put clumps, like you can see, throughout the tree, what looked pleasing to me, and I had to hold back because, I can cover the whole tree like this, but this is an easy way to get, bang for your buck. You get a lot of ornaments all in a spot. Now what I'm going to do is in these blank spots, I'm going to put a few picks just to finish the look of this tree. This is what I'm going to use for the picks, not that. So I'm going to use this because, again, it coordinates with the ribbon and those curly things that I have. And then I'm going to use some of this. I generally use this in the spring, but I want that purple color, and I love the way that looks together, and it'll incorporate and pull in those purple balls that I painted. You see, I'm going to sink them in just like this. I sunk that in, and then I put a touch of that, and I'll distribute it across the tree, and then I'll go back and adjust anything that needs to be adjusted. Okay, so you see how I did it? I did the purple and then the green, and then in some places I had more of this than the purple. So then what I just did is I stuck it in to completely cover the tree. I'm going to show you in a second. I don't want to pull back yet, but wow, it made such a tremendous difference. It's absolutely beautiful. I love the colors. All right, now we're switching down to the reindeer here. So my reindeer topiary. So look what I did. I put some branches in here to accentuate his antlers, to make them look like the antlers. And then I put some of those roses in here that I painted with the purple. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add some ficus leaves in there just to give it a different texture, because it's too much all the same. Thanks, everybody. I'll be moving on to the next room. See you soon. Bye-bye.